for my name to pop up. I'm delighted to be here. My name is Horace Butler, and as it says, I'm one of the alumni of Washington High School class of 1964. And I do think that I hold the committee of which I was part, the photograph, yearbook, big book, electronic book committee. I owe that committee an apology for being AWOL on several occasions. But I think that I can blame, if I were a blaming person, I could blame my past, and that is the things that I picked up at Washington and other schools where I attended. Mrs. Harris mentioned Mr. Walker picking up paper. I find myself walking around as I'm in the school, walking around the school, not looking for papers to pick up, picking up papers. In January, I got a call. I'll get to the point, my main point in just a moment. But I got a call from a school, a high school, that needed a teacher, a math teacher, and this was an emergency. The teacher had left just a few days early. There were lots of students who were chomping at the bit, not so much for learning, but they just wanted to be sure that their grades didn't go down. They wanted me to give them some grades. Oh, what surprise they were. So I was not able to attend some of the meetings from in the early part of the fall. When I finished that, I was able to attend some meetings, and then in March, I got another call from a school that said, teacher left on Friday. We need a math teacher immediately, otherwise the students are going to lose ground. Now, what I'm trying to say is, the people before me have laid the groundwork for what my project is all about. Charles Gardner is the one who came up with the idea. He thought it would be a great idea to have some type of book where we had all of the faculty, students, and activities where people could come in and ostensibly into the room and observe. As the committee, Tommy Rice and David Beatty and I and Dan Puritan got together, we decided to go a little bit more modern because the book would wear out, and we thought maybe electronically, just having something on the web would be better. So that was the goal that I undertook. My background is math and computing. So after I retired from teaching in 2019, I did some online tutoring, and then I began to work on photographs, scanning photographs from yearbooks, looking at family. I'm also a web designer, looking at family photos and trying to get some idea of how to preserve the past, family, church, community, and school. So in talking with Charles, meeting with Charles, and showing him what I had done, he thought it would be a great idea to get more classes involved than just the class of 1964. That was a class of which we were a part. So we did that. So I don't know what you're seeing here. Could we show a few of the slides, sir? I undertook the task of scanning in, borrowing your books from all over the place, and I have not returned those books yet. Ladies and gentlemen, your books are safe. You will be getting those books back. Scanning the books in, 1962 through 1970, there were several years where we didn't have books available, but I initially was just scanning in the pages from the beginning to end, and then it occurred to me it would be a good idea to break them into categories. So we have the administration, the faculty, from 1962, 63, 65, 60, all the way up to 1968. 69 was the year that there was no book, and there was another year. What you're seeing here is just a sample of what was scanned in. It indicates a video. I could certainly do a video. Somebody suggested a PowerPoint. These were extracted from a PowerPoint. Somebody suggested just having a website where you could just click at your leisure and go through and look at whatever you'd like, selecting the items that you're interested in or the years that you're interested in and moving forward. So that's what we have here is just a sample. After observing and meeting with the minister here and thinking about what was needed for the presentation, I thought, wow, it would be a great idea to have all three of those items, the PowerPoint, the individual photos, and the website. I thought of just having a demonstration on the phone today for those of you who have your cell phones, but I think we won't take the time for that since Ms. Harris spoke for 30 minutes. You do have right now most of the years on that you can access through on your phone, and I won't go through the process of doing that now. The same way you heard about the event today, you'll be hearing about the website. I want to do some updates on that over the weekend, and we'll get that to whomever, and that information will be distributed to you. But let me just talk a little bit more, just a couple of minutes more about what education has meant for me. I am a lifelong teacher. I graduated from high school in '64, went to college in Georgia. Then I was had not planned to go to college, but my counselor, Harriet Williams, said, "You will, Mr. Walker, endorse that, you will." From there, I got invited to Indiana. I went there, and then continued in Indiana. And I decided after that I would become a teacher. And as I walked into the building, the church today, I heard Charles Gardner and Reverend Johnson and some others talking about what a powerful impact the education has had on them. And since Charles and I are of the same vintage, it had on me as well. So when I think about the past, the days that have gone by, when the teachers walked in with a chalkboard, a blackboard, a box of chalk, and did their thing. And when I think about teachers today complaining because AI didn't do their lesson plans, didn't give them practice problems, didn't grade those practice problems, and also didn't write a letter home to parents, I'm thinking, wow, what have we gotten into? So I am a product of what Mr. Walker has said. I can remember him walking into the building, into a room with, called all the men from the boys we were from the class, and challenged us. He took off his shirt and had on what we call today a ball shirt or a wife beater, I guess. And said, "Come on up." And I was impressed by that. I was impressed by him, all the teachers of Washington. But Mr. Walker, there had to be a leader, and Mr. Walker was that person. So again, I don't know what you've seen behind me, but again, the small images you see here have later been put into smaller packages so that they are bigger. And I do apologize, I sent to the minister some information that didn't get, I checked this morning, email that failed to go through. That was by error, that was not an error of anybody else. But again, I will proceed with developing those three media, PowerPoint, photos, and the web, and you'll be getting information, the links to those, basically the same way you got the information about today. So again, I really thank Mr. Walker and all the persons with whom he worked and the persons whom he directed for making me who I am. Thank you, Charles, for putting this all together.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm David C. Mitchell, the board member for GTA Green Lake, and I first want to acknowledge our board chair, Ms. Amanda Warren, who's with us today. And raise your hand. Certainly pleased to be here, very excited to have an opportunity to stand before these most primitive people who are graduates of Washington High School. I know that when I stand here and I look out at you, I was of infant when you were in high school, 1967. So with the hour that I speak here, Ms. Harris, y'all got time. It's truly a blessing to be here in this momentous occasion to be able to dedicate the room at the new maintenance facility, GTA Green. Very excited about the opportunity, what we present to you. I don't know how many have had opportunity to see the finished product, but it's a beautiful place, a beautiful opportunity for the community as well as our business at GTA Green Lake to be able to share in with you I will tell you, and I think Mr. Gardner had me mixed up. He called my name several times, but with James' name, I can say to you that James says over here a lot. I ask a lot of questions. So with that, James has been involved with the process from the beginning. But I also want to say to you as Washington High School alumni, your committee, when we announced this project in 2020, boots were on the ground, if I can use that. Literally, we were standing out in ankle-deep mud, looking at the site for where the monument will eventually go to recognize Washington High School. And I'm very excited about that project that's coming along later on in the year because it's a momentous occasion. We want to make sure we recognize Washington High School. I understood the history. My board members understood the history of the school and the representation of it, and now the absence of those schools, not in memory, but in physicality, they're not there. So we're truly blessed. I want to make sure we acknowledge other schools of Lincoln and Sterling and Bryson and Beck and Washington. Did I leave one out? Got them all. Good. So with that, we want to make sure we acknowledge that. When I look over at Representative Shonda Dillard and Melvin Rock Fleming, they got a statue downtown for Sterling High School. But your statue's going to be bigger. But no, just kidding. It's always good to make sure we carry on the legacy because when you're gone and not here anymore, when our young kids can walk by, my grandchildren can walk by and say, where's Washington High School? What was Sterling High School? We'll be able to acknowledge the fact that these schools existed in a time where segregation was prevalent in the state of South Carolina and across this country. So now those days are gone, but we're not going to forget the rich history and legacy of those great people who were in this room and around the state and around this country who attended predominantly black schools. So I get to the order of the day as we talk about what we're here for. The board of directors and the leadership and board chair Amanda Warren, along with the staff of GTA Greenlee, led by executive director James Kill, are proud to dedicate the name, our boardroom and community room after Principal J.Wilbur Walker. Current board members Amanda Warren, John Rusak, John Slipke, Steve Ansemborski, Addie Batley, David C. Mitchell, Barry Stroll, and Walker Smith, all along with former board members and staff that worked tirelessly since 2020 to bring forth a $50 million administrative office and maintenance facility located at the site of the historic Washington High School. We have taken extraordinary measures to ensure that the rich history and legacy of the school and the alumni are honored and memorialized in and around the new facility located at Arcadia Drive. Just a few facts about the facility. The facility grounds hosts an approximately 8-acre park with a playground for children aged 2 to 5 and 5 to 12. It's 1,800 square foot covered pavilion with bathrooms to serve recreational resources for the local community of New Washington Heights and the surrounding community. The site for the monument to be erected later this year will honor the Washington High School, one of the 5 historically black high schools in Greenville County. The name of the room, J.Wilbur Walker Community Room, will be which we honor today. We are proud to hang a portrait in the community room affixing the name of J.Wilbur Walker and a bus stop in the name and honor of Principal Walker. We are proud to honor this because of the leadership and alums of Washington Elementary and High School that flourished under his leadership. J.Wilbur Walker, as a principal, was charismatic, a loving leader who supported and encouraged his students to become successful while earning their education. Mr. Walker's actions demonstrated a sincere caring for not only for the students and achievements of the classroom, but also the students in social, mental, and physical well-being. Before becoming Washington Elementary High School, he had been the principal at Gower Elementary School, Gower Elementary School, Oscar Elementary School, and Union Elementary School. Students still speak of Mr. Walker as a person who saved students, who served students and fed the hungry. Mr. Walker made sure that every student was fed. He created an environment to make sure no one dropped out of school. Charles Gardner, quoted, said, class of 1964 students also remember Mr. Walker as an effective, loving administrator, who encouraged every student to become a good role model. He organized the Parent-Teacher Association in Greenville County in 1939, and in 1950, the first statewide elementary school principals association in South Carolina. Local citizens accredit him with helping diffuse the racial tensions during the desegregation in Greenville County. J.Wilbur Walker was the principal of Washington Elementary and High School from the opening of the fall of 1961 until it closed in February of 1970 due to forced desegregation. On behalf of the staff, GTA Board, Green Link, we officially recognize the boardroom and community room as the J.Wilbur Walker Room. Congratulations. The meeting today and be able to share with us in that beautiful occasion. God bless you.
Good afternoon. First of all, let me say it is truly an honor and a privilege to be part of this dedication ceremony. And as I listen to the accolades for Mr. Walker, it's very rare that you hear dedicated, humble, servant leader in the same sentence with a leader. So I would like to commend all of the students and the alumni now of Washington High School for the spirit of excellence that you have given to Greenville County. And I would like to give this proclamation from District 23, I represent District 23, and the proclamation from the Greenville County Schools. Proclamation honoring the service of Mr. J.Wilbur Walker. Whereas Mr. J.Wilbur Walker was born on June 23rd, 1914, and dedicated his life to the pursuit of education and the betterment of his community. Whereas Mr. Walker earned his Bachelor of Arts degree from Payne College in 1938 and his Master's degree in Education from Atlanta University in 1947, demonstrating his commitment to academic excellence. Whereas Mr. Walker's career with Greenville County Schools spanned 4 decades, during which he served in various capacities with the unwavering goal of equipping students with the skills necessary for success in life. Whereas Mr. Walker began his career as a teacher, serving and subsequently served as principal at Gower Elementary School until 1961, and later as principal at Washington High and Elementary School from 1961 until its closure in 1970. Whereas Mr. Walker's tenure as principal at Washington High and Elementary School is remembered for its significant and positive impact on students, where he and his faculty instill lessons that set students on a course to lead successful lives. Whereas under Mr. Walker's leadership, Washington High School produced alumni who became athletic state champions, artists, musicians, community leaders, scientists, and scholars, showcasing the nurturing environment he fostered. Whereas Mr. Walker ensured that athletic teams and the marching band at Washington High School had uniforms to compete and perform, contributing to the school's success and the students' sense of pride and accomplishment. Whereas, following the integration of the Greenville County School District in 1970, Mr. Walker continued his service in a supervisory role in district operations. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Mr. James Wilbur Walker is hereby honored for his outstanding service and dedication to the field of education and the positive impact he has had on countless students and the community.
Good afternoon. I'm indeed happy to be here with the second proclamation on behalf of the city of Greenville. But I do want to say, as a graduate of Gower Elementary School and Oscar Street Elementary School, where my home is placed now, I'm thoroughly excited to be able to issue this proclamation on behalf of Mr. James Wilbur Walker. Whereas James Wilbur Walker served as principal of the Washington Elementary and Washington High School after his tenure as principal of Gower Elementary and the Oscar Elementary School in the city of Greenville. And whereas Mr. Walker always exhibited excellent, charismatic, and loving leadership by always encouraging young students to become successful in their educational studies despite the prevailing segregated environment. And whereas Mr. Walker always made sure no student ever went without lunch due to the lack of money and was properly fed while attending school. He saw to it that each student's social, mental, and physical well-being were met. And whereas
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alan Mitchell. I'm the District 23 County Council representative, your representative. And before I get started, I would like to recognize the planning committee members again, because they have fought a hard fight, a long fight. I will tell you, every time I went somewhere, especially when I went to Addie's house for a function, I felt like I was in church. Everybody was passing the basket around and said, "This is for Washington High School." I said, "Well, this is great, you know." So everybody gave cheerfully. And I was listening to Hattie Harris today, Mrs. Hattie Harris, one of our great teachers. And I was just so thankful. So, Ms. Harris, thank you for being here. It's people like her and James Wilbur Walker. Whereas deep in the era of racial segregation in Greenville County, the Washington Elementary and High School came into being between the years 1961 and 1970. And whereas from its very beginning, through its closing in 1971, the sole principal leader for this institution was one James Wilbur Walker, a well-known educator in the Greenville community. And whereas prior to assuming this leadership position, Mr. Walker had served as principal of the Gower Elementary School, the Oscar Elementary School, and the Union Elementary School. And whereas in spite of the prevailing segregated environment, Mr. Walker always exhibited excellence, charismatic, and loving leadership by always encouraging young students to become successful in their educational studies. And whereas Mr. Walker always saw to it that each student's social, mental, and physical well-being were met. He made sure no student ever went without lunch due to lack of money and was properly fed while attending school. And whereas Mr. Walker always stressed the importance of all students becoming role model citizens in our community. And whereas Mr. Walker organized the first Parent-Teacher Association in Greenville County and the first statewide elementary school principals association in the state of South Carolina, now therefore, the Greenville County Council does hereby recognize the educational contributions of the late Mr. Walker and his reputation as an outstanding educational role model in the Greenville community and in the state of South Carolina, and does therefore proclaim June 7th, 2025 as James Wilbur Walker Day in Greenville County, signed the 7th day of June 2025 by Benton Blount, Chairman of the Greenville County Planning Commission. Now I want you to put on your calendars June 7th, so that every year is not just 2025. You can say, this is Principal Walker's Day.
But I'm going to try. I'm Chandra Dillon, State Representative for House District 23. And let me just say what an honor and a privilege it is for me to be here with you today. It has been an honor working with the Planning Committee. I appreciate them allowing me to give just a little technical assistance because, as David said, I did have some work with the Sterling Monument, and so I want all of these future monuments to go up faster and for you to have success. And as a community, we should not guard good lessons. We should pass them along to others. And I am so pleased about where you are in this process. I bring you greetings on behalf of the South Carolina House of Representatives. And, you know, while I did not attend a all-black high school here in Greenville, I feel like I have benefited and lived vicariously through you, through your excellence, through your support, through your love, through your leadership in this community. And just let me say thank you. Thank you so much. The House of Representatives, we do have a resolution, and it does incorporate many of the things that you have heard, and so I won't bore you again with that same information. But let me just say this. In the state of South Carolina, we value our institutions. You may not know it, but we are currently trying to save and help save the Rosenwald School and honor that history. I know all that you hear is not always good, but I wanted to pass along that good information to you. But we also value our native sons and our native daughters. And J.Wilbur Walker was a native son to South Carolina who exemplified excellence that has been repeated over and over today. But he was also a humanitarian. He was the person that looked beyond your faults. And it was folks like J.Wilbur Walker who understood that about you, about us. And he met you at the door with all that love and potential. And so the state of South Carolina honors him. The beauty of the House resolution is that this puts him in our archives of state history. In our archives of state history. So that when future generations look back, Google, search, J.Wilbur Walker, and even Washington High School alumni, his resolution will surface. And of course, I hope this will hang in the building, in his room. And I also want to thank Greenlee, David, and your leadership, James Keel, and your cooperation for making this possible. So, whereas the South Carolina House takes great pleasure in saluting the achievements of J.Wilbur Walker and the members Now therefore be it resolved by the House of Representatives and the members, and all of them are on here, that the state of South Carolina House of Representatives by this resolution honor and remember J.Wilbur Walker, principal of Washington Elementary and High School in Greenville, for his distinguished service as an educator. Thank you.
The only problem with being at the bottom of the program is that everybody's already said what you were tasked to do. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and redo what I was supposed to do anyway. And that was to introduce our special guest that we have. I'm gonna ask you to briefly stand so you can be recognized in that manner. After you stand, you can sit right back down. First, the Reverend Mr. Frederick Hightower and his wife Michelle. As you know, he's the sculptor of the monument and also the visual artist. Next, the Honorable Chandra Phillip, District 23, South Carolina House of Representatives. County Councilman Alan Mitchell, District 23, Greenville. Ms. Glenda Morrison Fair, Greenville County School District 4. Mr. David Mitchell, Greenville Lincoln, Green Lincoln Traffic. Sorry about that. Please, all former teachers and staff of Washington Elementary and High School, please stand if you will. All right, all student alumni, all students who attended Washington Elementary and High School, if you're here, please stand. Okay, and last, we would like to thank Ms. Lillian Brock Lemon, City Council member, just to please. Once again, everyone has said what I've been tasked to do, so I want to say thank you for coming. Appreciate your presence, and I hope to see you down at the site.
Well, before Fabiola I'm here to see and take a moment to hear some instructions. When we leave here, just one block over is the maintenance facility where the community room is located, and where we will be unveiling the portrait of Mr. Walker. So immediately after leaving here, travel at that short distance to observe that ceremony. And there's one other individual that I want you to recognize. She'll stand as Jenny Stroud. Jenny has not been, well, she has been involved with the dedication of the community room. We would not be getting a monument if it were not for Ms. Jenny Stroud. And when we have the ceremony for the dedication of the monument, she will be recognized more fully. But Ms. Jenny Stroud is the one to put pen to paper to solicit and gain the money from foundations, the contributions that they made, all of those applications put together by Ms. Jenny Stroud. Jenny and I go back a long way. We go back, we work together when I worked at City Hall. And you talk about true friends. She is one. Called upon her and asked her to take on this task. She said, sure, Charles. And she has worked diligently as this thing. It's not easy to put together these things, but she put together several. And I think was successful in all but one. Successful in all. And so we would not be building this monument, Frederick. You wouldn't be getting paid. And I want to take another minute to thank the planning committee. You guys don't realize how hard this planning committee has worked. You don't realize how much time and how much effort they have put into making this dedication possible, but put into raising the fund to pay Mr. Hightower. And I think Mr. Hightower will attest to that this is one of the few projects that he's been engaged in, that we raised all the money before we signed the contract. So, all of what? I'm happy we'll be coming and we'll follow the rest of the program, but do make your way across the way to the community room. And when you get over there, and all of the committee is working hard, but a special recognition goes out to Abby, the refreshments you're gonna eat and the decorations. Your program and your souvenirs, Ms. Rose, yeah. Take time to thank them. Let them know you appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Good evening. It is such a pleasure to stand here to give honor and to recognize our former principal, Mr. J.Wilbur Walker. We are all blessed to be able to sit here in the presence of all the Falcons that are still here. But we don't never want to forget all of our fallen Falcons that are no longer with us, but they are here in our hearts. We just lost a classmate of 1968, but by the grace of God and in mercy, we are still here. So let us not take it for granted. Be thankful, be grateful, because this is indeed a day that we all have planned for. So let us enjoy the remainder of the day. Remember, we will say a silent prayer for all Washington Falcons, our administrators, and our great teachers that instilled in us, empowered us to be who we are and to be here today. So bow your head and a silent prayer. Blessing to all. Thank you.
is Green Link. This is the Transit Authority maintenance. Is it maintenance?
Operations and maintenance facility.
Operation and maintenance facility where our high school used to be, the old Washington High. This is a sign here.
Come on in.
I got you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Rumstead.
No fingers.
I know, don't worry about it. It get like that. That's when we start getting older. Yeah. How are you?
I was doing okay, it took me a minute.
Right here, don't be hugging on my woman.
My man.
What's happening, bro?
All right.
Did a lot of the work behind the scenes, the executive director of GTA Green Link, the man behind the plan to make sure that the monument's in place as well as this room. We thank him for his work in the service and his staff. He got a dynamic staff that is working with him. So with that, I'll turn it over to Amanda Moore.
Thank you. So for part 2 of the celebration today, I'd like to officially welcome you to the J.Wilbur Walker Community Room. Mr. Gardner, is it time?
It's time. This is the room that we're talking about. We're waiting to get, James, don't walk away. We're waiting, I don't think we'll get them today, but we'll get, instruction on how we can use this room, what the guidelines and the regulations, will be. But using this room, outside the door, and I'm gonna want you to walk a little bit after you get to do what we have here, to see where the pavilion is located, it's already up, and to see where the monument, is going to be placed. So when we use this room, we'll also have access to the park outside, and the pavilion, At this time, I'm going to, introduce Pastor Hightower, who is the artist that, and I'll let him talk about the portrait that he is donating to the room. And he is the sculptor that's doing the artwork for the sculptor. That he may have some word about when in the fall, but he's told us that it should be ready in the fall. So Mr. Hightower.
Well, first of all, giving praise and honor to God, who is the Lord and Savior of my life. I want to say I'm very thankful that I'm here in your presence. And I definitely want to thank the Washington High School Elementary Alumni Association for allowing me to be able to do this sculpture. And I just thought it was a wonderful program and ceremony and celebration of Principal Wilbur Walker. And can we just give a hand for just all the wonderful. I also want to thank Brother Gardner, who has just been, just such a blessing with us. It's like we've known him forever. And you couldn't have picked a better chairman. And people often ask me, being a pastor, how did I get to do this? And If you're a pastor from West Virginia, you gotta have a side hustle. So, but anyway, I was raised by my grandmother who had been a sharecropper in Georgia. And she always taught me that whatever you do it in excellence, but always do something a little bit extra that people don't expect. So I don't do this for everybody, but I just really felt like this community, for the excellence and everything that has presented, that this was deserving. So this is my little extra. So in honor of Principal Wilbur Walker, we present this oil portrait.
And we are actively soliciting donations. So if you have trophies or any other memorabilia that you would like to donate, we would appreciate it. So we do have all of the yearbooks, and we've honored Mr. Beck and our principals of our PTA. So at this time, we will unveil what we have in the trophy case. And it is a project in process. Thank you. That we hope to have a picture of the movie that Horace is going to create for us, and that will be a QR code when you come up, and you can actually scan that to have access to all those memories of the year. Excellent.
Okay, now you'll be able to move around and